Furitek just dropped this RTR, and I'm going to give you all the details on this thing. I'm going to give you the rundown of all the key features. We're going to put it on the setup table to do the standard tests. And then we're going to put it on the indoor course and we're going to run it and see how it does. This thing includes some of the best parts currently available from Furitek and some that you've never even seen before. This is super exciting. This is probably the best performing RTR we have ever seen to date. Certainly the best that I have gotten my hands on. So let's jump in and take a closer look at this thing. The term watershed moment means a critical turning point in time where everything changes and nothing will be the same as before. This, my fellow mini crawler enthusiasts, is our watershed moment. Meet the all-new Furitek Wagon FX118, a ready-to-run 1/18 scale powerhouse. At first glance, it looks like the Hobby Plus CR18P Evo Harvest Edition. It shares a similar pickup truck style body and even has the Hobby Plus badging. Look a little closer, however, and the differences become clear, and they are dramatic. The body itself has been modified. It has shaved front fenders and trimmed rear body panels to allow for extra clearance and more aggressive appearance. Inside those fender wells are big bore oil-filled shocks with aluminum caps. Those shocks are mounted to an all-new aluminum low center of gravity chassis kit, giving you the option to tune and customize your truck right out of the box. That new chassis sits on familiar portal axles, mated to 1.2-inch beadlock wheels. But up front there's a servo on axle design and a 4-link front suspension system. Underneath the body is where the magic really lies, and we see at the heart of this beast is the new Furitek Venom brushless outrunner motor. The Venom motor is mated to a fortified single-speed transmission with full metal gears to ensure durability and longevity. Controlling that new Venom motor is the tried and true Lizard Pro from Furitek with integrated Bluetooth module and access to the FuriCar app. We've got all the customization and tuning that we're used to. Completing the electronics combo is a micro-sized receiver built by Furitek that pairs with the familiar, compact and efficient 2.4 GHz 4-channel transmitter. All of this comes at a price of just $199, only $50 more than your average SCX24 or TRX 4M. With so much performance packed into that price, this is a straight shot across the bow at the big manufacturers. It sounds incredibly good, but let's dive in and put this truck through the usual tests to see just how good it really is. So let's get this thing on the setup table, see how it does. First up, RTI, Ramp Travel Index. Now these big beefy aluminum shocks, they aren't super long, so don't expect this thing to be a flex monster right out of the box. We do have a lot of adjustability on the chassis if we want to get more articulation out of it, but I think in stock form, we're right around 15 on the RTI. Right now let's do some side hill. It's 40, 45. I'd say right around 47 or 48 on the side hill. Now let's try the vertical. 40, 45, 50, 55. Starting to slide a little bit. 58, 60. It's about 61 on the vertical. And here we are on the four corner scale. So our weight distribution, 52% front, 48% rear. Total weight's 393 grams. This is with the battery in it. So let's fire this thing up and hit the course now that we've done our measurements. Let me open this thing up so you can see the motor. We've got that Venom Outrunner motor. Alright, ready to see this thing rock and roll. Now, I've not gone into the app and done any tuning whatsoever. This is box stock. Look at the slow crawl out of that. Unbelievable that this is an RTR. It's fast too. It's got plenty of power. It's very snappy, very responsive. Alright, super cool. Let's button this thing up, we'll get it on the course. Okay, here's the Fury Wagon on the course. You can see it's got the light bar, the functional light bar on the roof. I haven't figured out a way to turn that off yet. We'll see if there is or not. Super excited to get this out on the course. Figured while I'm driving around, I'll give you my driving impressions as well as hit some of the other key features of this thing. Very smooth shock action through Articulation Alley. Ground clearance from the chassis and the portals gets us through there with no issues. Ultra slow in control with the Furitek system in there. This has the 45-degree turning radius with those portal axles. And I mentioned the Hobby Plus badging on this earlier in the video. Furitek actually teamed up with Hobby Plus to co-develop this. That's why you see the co-branding all over it. And I think this is a great partnership because the CR18P was a great platform to begin with. And now this Furitek take on it, almost like the Brabus Mercedes partnership, just takes this thing to a whole new level. Just seeing the slow crawl. Tires doing okay. Pushing off to the side a little bit, some understeer. This thing will certainly benefit from a better tire and wheel package. Still, that Venom motor has a lot of punch, able to get us up and over the canyon. Very composed on that downhill. Yeah, it's that tight turning radius there. One of the things they also did with this body was that not only did they shave the front fenders down, but they also eliminated the headlights. So it's got a much more streamlined front. That's also why you get the light bar and no headlights, I believe. But you also see they put on this more aggressive front bumper with the fake winch on there as well as the bull bar. There are spots in the bumper to mount some LED lights if you wanted to. Now let's get into Mini Moab here. We'll start our usual challenge lines. We'll kick it off with the escalator. Plenty of power to bump up over that gatekeeper. This section of the escalator is real challenging now. It's super slick. It's been taking down a lot of high performance rigs here. They all seem to understeer right off the course here. Yeah, you got to use that slow crawl, see if we can creep it. I think it's going to do it. Oh, where's my ground clearance there? Oh, we did it. I was holding my breath that whole time. It made it though. Let's try some side hill across the chute. We saw some pretty low degrees on the side hill on the setup table. Let's see what that looks like in real world practice here. So we're going to come across at about 40-ish degrees on the bottom of the slope here on the chute. So far, so good. Oh, there we go. So I do think, utilizing the chassis tuning functions here to drop that ride height down a little bit would really help. It's got that kind of a tall stance on it, especially with the portal axles and that body up there. So I think utilizing the options we have available on the chassis could really help this out from a side hill perspective. And Hell's Gate, here we go. Look at that, nice. A little bit of trouble right there, but otherwise pretty good run up Hell's Gate. So this thing's pretty impressive. Was able to do all of the challenge lines on Mini Moab with no modifications whatsoever. Did not even go into the app. This is just straight out of the box. So impressive that we have this at our fingertips for $200. I dig the color. I initially was really hoping to get my hands on the black with the flames, but I like the red. This is almost like a bright fire engine red. It comes in a nice green too, and then there's the 2 flame liveries available. Try one more line here, then we'll wrap it up. Use that venom to bump it here. Oh yeah, no problem. Cool, very impressive. What a great offering from Furitek and Hobby Plus here. Final thoughts on the Furitek FX118 Fury Wagon. This is such an awesome moment for mini crawlers. For $200 out of the box, you get something like this. It's affordable, it's an incredible performer, and you've got tons of room for customization and tuning with this thing. While performance right out of the box was fantastic, you know that you're going to be able to get so much more out of this with some tuning and some tweaking. Use those shock placements, adjust that ride height, capitalize on the upgrades available for the CR18P, throw some brass rings in the wheels, upgrade the wheels and tires. With some small upgrades, just some real slight tweaking, this thing's going to be a monster. Furitek nailed the design of this thing. I do wish there was a way to relocate that battery. I wish that was more towards the front and down lower to improve that weight distribution. So to recap, this is available in 4 different colors. We have the red, it comes in a green, and then there are 2 different flame liveries that it's available in. Price is $199.99. Orders will start shipping on September 25th. Now I'll put the link down in the description below if you want to check one of these out. And let me know in the comments, what do you think of the FX118 Fury Wagon? Do you think this is the start of a new wave of RTRs from our favorite manufacturers? I hope it is. I always say competition's great for the consumer, and I feel like this really was a turning point in the mini crawler market. But let me know your thoughts down below. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And as always, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.